What's up, guys? Today we're going to be doing all the odds and ends on this buggy. So let's get to it and get all the tabs, gussets, and everything else welded up, made, and built. Let's do it.
As you can tell, that bead came out looking fresh. We'll clean it up so you can see what it looks like with it all looking shiny. We got our bracket cut out. Fitment's a little sloppy at the top, but we'll fill this just with a small tack and it'll burn in nice and beautiful. Not too bad. We'll get this tacked up. And I'll show you, this is what we got going. Not too bad. Not too bad. Hey. So we got one of our brackets cut out. Oh, I had the right one in my hand. This is how it's gonna lay out. Okay, yep, looks pretty good on all sides. Slight adjustments. And we'll tack that up. It looks really nice. Got our bridge plate sitting in here. So we got these mocked up. They honestly look pretty sweet. I'm liking the style. It goes with the chassis. So we got both sides mocked up. So we got our rear shocks mounted on the bottom side. We got to mount them up top. And I'm trying to think of something. It's kind of creative, kind of nice, but also strong and functional, and packages well as well. Or packages well as well. Sorry, stumbled on my words a little bit. And it needs to go like right here. So the thing we're going to be doing is, this is our little spacer we got right here, and then our shock. This is all on budget, so if anything gets changed, it will have to be, you know, a major change, which is what it is. It's metal and it can be cut off and fixed. But these are 2.5-inch Fox air shocks, so they have a little bit wider mounting width than these ones, which these are all, like I said, budget, very narrow. These are air shocks. These are the 2.0s. Honestly, can't remember the shaft. I've been working with too many measurements. But we're gonna get these tack welded up and get the other side as well, and then we're gonna start working on this bar and then get these both sides mounted up and hopefully on its own weight actually. So I had to move this one a little bit. It wasn't really centered, so I moved it, got it all clocked and everything perfectly. Everything's looking great. Gonna be welding up some of this stuff here in a second. You'll see that. These holes, okay, honestly, everyone's gonna think, oh, they're for adjustment. The front is, but the rear is not. It's actually to keep a spare bolt in the bottom. So you got a little extra hardware, and then the rest of it is just design and extra strength. So we got these bump stop pads welded up. They look pretty nice. They'll go on here, but we're not ready quite yet for them because we gotta get the bump stop can mounts, you know, mounted in a location beforehand. So we gotta make bump stop can mounts, and then we'll be on the road. Damn. Those look good. Oh, here we go. Here's our shock tower, bud. Woo! Both sides are done. Check that shit. Look at that. But like this one, I stumbled over the tack weld and my hand slipped, and yeah. So had to get some brackets welded up. Some of these are okay. Some of these I'll have to grind out just a little bit and then re-weld because that's not acceptable. We want everything to look decent for powder coat. It's not gonna be, you know, beautiful on every single one. Like this one as well needs to be grinded out. That was a tack weld and I fucking stumbled. I don't see it, you know, using this full shock, obviously being trailing arms, but here we go. So just to right there, obviously it's on the jack. I'll average it out, and we got about 11 3/4 of travel. And the shock still is almost, it's almost actually straight up and down. So theoretically, I could have kicked them back more straight up and down, but we're gonna leave them like this because it looks fucking sick. And you know, we'll learn as we go. So let's jack this bad boy back up.
Okay, we're gonna set the button on its own weight for the first time. I'm honestly pretty stoked about this.
All right, we're moving her out. So we're getting the bump stop cans welded up, both sides. Kind of screwed up right here, kind of upset, but it is what it is. And that right there, that's lovely. So I'm gonna try and sand that out and hide some of those little mistakes, but not too bad. It's coming together. Come here, Bubble. So some of the odds and ends that we're gonna be, patching up and finishing up is this. We're gonna put a plate in there, just like this front. Gotta put a bottom little drain so at least we can clean it out. Do the same thing with this one. And then we'll go around. I gotta grind out some of these welds because they were just structural, so we just, I just had somebody weld them, I welded them, and just really didn't care. So, long story short, gotta grind some of them out, weld some more, make it more structural, and then grind them out like this. A lot of this I was also working with back when I was building this chassis, 2.5 years ago. I was working with very limited materials, so I was working with scraps, whatever I had, and I was, learning and all that such. But long story short, I got to replace or gusset or do something, replace a lot of things, most likely. A lot of tubes, like this whole back chunk. It's not the best, but gonna get it cleaned up, fixed, and got to take the seat out, get this grinded down. I didn't have the plasma table back then, so this is what I made. So that's what you got. Redo seat mounts. Yeah, they're very wimpy, puny. But this is, like I said, all I had. So then I made that, which very, very thin. Oh yeah, that's the best thing. But I already knew that I was going to be revising all of these mounts anyways, because as time goes on, tools get better, you get better, everything gets better. So the shifting linkage, you can see it here. Okay, gives you an idea. I'm gonna simplify it like a lot, because what I have here is very complicated. Too many moving joints, too many bolts and nuts that can be loose, too tight, whatever the case may be. So we're gonna simplify that, make that a lot nicer. The gas pedal, it works.
The cable's sticky, so it needs oiled and everything, but it works. It was just, you know, concept, like I said. Did a nut, cut a little notch into it, put a little weld, which honestly wasn't supposed to be there. I was supposed to leave material, but got a little out of hand with the grinder. And yeah, made this whole brake or gas pedal without the plasma table. So you don't need plasma table by any means to build cool stuff like this. This whole buggy was initially built without one. Even these panels, that panel, you know, everything, no plasma table. So and these are all rough fit up. Everything's just rough so I can, you know, move forward on progress, have just a good idea. But like I said, yeah, this whole thing is handmade. No CNC tools. Besides these tabs, I had a friend actually cut me out like 700 of these, you know, for panels and such, but that was really nice of him. But yeah, so as you can see up there, which makes more sense, but it was really feasible. I bought a sheet of steel and had him cut them out, and yeah, it was really nice. But exhaust, just proof of concept, show me, you know, how much real estate it's kind of going to take up. We got a lot of other little things that we got to put in here too. So, you know, it's not going to be the prettiest engine bay, but it's going to be there and usable. But in here, so it's a KZ1000 shaft drive engine. This is what it came with factory. Okay, so I had a output. Oh, got a slider on. Has to be like perfect. It's so tight. So factory output. I had to take, you know, turn off the camera and do it myself. But factory output in between here is just proof of concept. Like I said, this is all gonna have to get revised. All that will have to be revised. I'm putting a two-wheel drive Toyota stuff's in here, so stuff's gonna get a little tight. So, but you know, it's a buggy. It's not, you know, a rig or anything. So I'm gonna have to revise a lot of this too, but that's okay. We got the main structure built, and then we can start locating everything else where we actually need it. So this is really good. But so we have 5 gears in the motorcycle, and we'll have 5 gears with reverse in the transmission, which is the main reason I'm doing a transmission, because I need reverse. Then we're gonna go to Samurai Divorced transfer case. Low, high, you know, 4 low, 4 high, and 2-wheel drive high with neutral. So we'll have low. You can stick it in first gear, row through those first 5 gears. You want to go a little faster, put that in second gear, row through those 5 gears again, and so on. Even more higher gear, yada yada, low gear, whatever you need, you got it there. Should push 39-inch tires. It should give this lots of gear ratio, lots of torque, you know, everything. So, which this factory has like 93, 94 horsepower stock. And so this is gonna rip, and I'm gonna plan to, you know, do a little tune up and just little things to give it, you know, that true 93 horsepower. So it'll be nice, and it should be plenty for what we're having. I mean, right now, if you were to guess, how much does it weigh? Okay, so for starting our back spine braces, we want to be in line with the ones we have up front, right? I'm gonna have to actually move this, but you'll get my point. So you want to have it roughly the same, but you also don't want it to hit. So you're gonna mark the top of this one on this bracket. Okay. You're gonna sight down this Heim joint, because if this is at full bump, this is the lowest that Heim joint's gonna be pitched down, okay? That being said, you can basically see that at the bottom of this groove, it's not gonna hit. So we are fine to make this perfectly in line for both these mounts. Now, let me grab a tape measure. Our first measurement is, let me do it left-handed. First measurement is 8 1/4. So, do 8 1/4. I don't have a glove on. So, you're gonna draw your shape kinda. This side's gonna be 8.25. Okay, so boom, this side's 8.25. And you're looking at it. And then the farther side, theoretically, okay, is, which we don't know yet. Come around here. Mark straight across from this. Which I'll check my work, don't worry. Yeah, that's actually spot on, right? And then we'll measure to the bottom of this bracket. And this one is 8 1/2. 8 1/2. So we have 8 1/2 and 8 1/4 for that bracket. And now we'll do this left one right here. Let me move the camera again. I need somebody to record because then you guys can see everything a lot better. More in detail too. But we'll make it work. So it's right here. Which I know it's not level or not in line with you guys on the camera, but I'm accounting for that. So then we'll measure this side. 5 inches. And then we'll do this side. Okay. 5 inches by 6. So the other side is a 5 by 6. Drain holes on each side with diamonds, and then we're good to go. So we'll make those. So we gotta draw our shapes, right? So we have 8 1/4, 8 1/2, 5, and by 6. So what I like to do, is rectangle, get our measurements out. Do 6. Okay. Duplicate it. Oh. Duplicate. Then do 5. Okay. And can't remember the width, but now we'll do the 8. By 8 1/2. Let me go grab that width, so I forgot to. It's an inch and 15/16. So, inch, point, the road fab little fraction chart, 0.09375. 0.093. Oh my, I did that wrong. 937. Well, that's gonna be on there forever. I'm dyslexic, so I really don't care, but so we got this one, We're gonna line them. No, okay, the wrong one. So boom, boom, down. And so what it is for one, it's gonna have a little drop. Okay. So we're gonna go right there to there to there to there to there. Okay, and then this one is gonna be 1.9. Oh my goodness, 3.7. And we'll do that and that, so they're all there. And then this one's gonna be there, there, to there, to there. So boom, 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 boom. Here's our parts. Okay, I like to make them gray because then it's, you know, steel. I'll just click on the wrong one. So there's those. Now the angled parts are down. Okay, and you also want to make sure they're in the right orientation when you go to lay them out. So this long one is going to be on that side. Long face actually has to be flipped. Okay. This one needs to be got too much stuff in my way. Needs to be down to the left, which it is. So there we go. Now we'll draw our diamond, which a lot of people don't know how to draw diamonds. Okay, so 1 inch, duplicate it, rotate it on 45, change the color because it's easier to see, and then you're gonna draw it. Oh, you're gonna draw it right here. Bam, bam. Bam, and then you're gonna wanna like do like, you know, something weird. Now you come straight down here, bam, 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 and there's your diamond, and you got yourself one sweet little cut part that you're gonna put on your piece. And I know the size already, so I'm gonna lock it. I'm gonna go right down there to 0.9 of a height, which my width then is 3/4 of an inch, which that's a nice little diamond on your part. So then we're gonna center it up. Okay, I try to fit them, like I try to stack them like this. Okay, and then I'll stack another one, and that's my spacing. It looks, I don't know, it just, to me it looks correct for some reason. So do that, I guess, hold on. Duplicate it, and I'll copy it and put it over here too.
there's that. Now we'll duplicate this, put that there. That's gone, that's gone, that's gone, this is gone. That's a nice looking part. And now we're gonna group that together. Now we're gonna center this, center that, and that is technically where it's supposed to be. We've gotta add our tops because we did just measure straight from the top. And if our width is basically 2 inches, we want 1.5 inch hole. Ooh. I didn't freaking delete any of that. 1.5. Okay, there's that one. There's that one. Now we'll go path difference. Okay, path. Ooh. Path difference. You have to hold shift down when you want to select 2 pieces. So select like your part and then that. And then you can let off your shift when you click both of them. And then, control also does 45s and everything, so you can rotate all your stuff on a 45 or 15, 30, 45 degree, 60 to 90, yeah, you know what I mean. But long story short, so let's get this done, that done. Okay, now we got our parts here, object, we're gonna group them. Now we're going to center them up. Oh, didn't click it. Center them up. Uh-oh. What's happening? Huh. There must be something right here. Let me move. Huh, that was weird. So theoretically, that's our part. Okay. Now, we can't forget our drain holes. I like to do a nice 1/2 inch hole. That's usually what about a rock is. And if it's bigger, well, you're gonna have to take your link out and fish it out. And you add this at the very bottom. Where this back piece goes. You want about half of your 1/2 inch circle, obviously. Gotta get her down just a little, right there. Duplicate it. Center it up. This one a little bit down. Maybe one more. Yeah, there we go. Okay, path difference. Select that one, path difference. So there's our 1/2 inch holes. It will kind of look a little weird, but there's a purpose behind them. So don't forget that. You don't want your stuff rotting out and links falling off that way too. Now we will, let's see if there's any, we're gonna save it in the Seitenküken, baby. We're gonna label it miscellaneous, finish up. So that's good enough for now. So at least it won't, when we go to compact, it's not gonna be a corrupt file or something. It still has a chance or possibility of being a corrupt file, but at least it's saved. So if it's corrupt, it is what it is. I'll just redraw it, but at least it's saved in. If we have a power surge or something, good to go. We also gotta put a spine on these, make them look all nice and pretty. So we're gonna measure those out each and draw them up and get them cut out as well. So we're gonna get our total length for one side. we'll make it 10 and 5/8 to give myself a little room. 10 and 5/8. 10 and 5/8. But this curve is gonna get me, so I'm just gonna have to draw it on some cardboard. Because I already know how curves work. Gotta get that contour just right. Otherwise, it's not gonna work. So, cardboard is your friend. I will say that for sure. Guys like our shirts. I designed them. Obviously. Okay, so I'm gonna drape this cardboard over the top of this mount. And start from one end to the other side. Okay. And then you're gonna go to the other side. Do the same exact thing. And that should work out pretty well. Okay. Lay this back over. Okay, and this is actually pretty good, yeah. So now the trick is to trim the excess off that you need so you can put your weld in. And so you'll see here, cutting that out. And that is about enough to put a weld in. And it should give us enough to then have the part still. The part still on this shock bracket. So getting it mounted up, trim a little bit more in some areas. Okay, so we're gonna trim off these black areas where I outlined. And it's as simple as that. Don't overthink this. You just gotta keep trimming where it needs it. And then when you transfer it to metal, just know metal doesn't form like paper. So you might have to do a little extra trimming. But it'll all literally come together. And then you'll have a really nice part. Or at least a better part than you originally would have had. And that's the nice thing to have. Is you always do it the best of your ability at the time. I used to be a big hater on people's rigs. And I found joy in it, hating on somebody else's rigs because I knew I was better than them. And I just was like, dogs, Duke, bad dog, leave the squirrel alone, Duke. But anyways, I found joy hating on other people's rigs. But what the root of the problem, honestly, was I just wanted to build. That literally was the root of the problem. So I opened up my own shop. Now, coming back from hating on a bunch of people's rigs, that is hard. But what you can do from that is learn from your mistakes, give them good customer service, and make them part of a family that nobody else will ever think of, joining. And when they join the family, I am so dedicated to them and their vehicle that they're like, wow, this dude's actually a really good guy. And I know I'm a good guy, but when you're young, you're a little dead, So you learn from your mistakes and you grow from that. And that's what also makes a good company. You learn from your mistakes, you make them right, and you move on. So we got our bracket here that we've slowly been trimming out. I have it backwards again. Oh, I had it right. And there we go. So we have our bracket right here. This looks pretty good. I'm gonna cut this out with the plasma table. This, then I can trim it up, fit it up, clean it up, and everything. Make it look correctly in the contour to this bracket, and then make sure all my fit up is correctly with a grinder. So don't be afraid to use a grinder. That's what's the start of this world for sure. So now we're going to transfer this. If this corner is like this, we got to take this over here and then flip it. Now these should be relatively close because I tried to make this chassis as dialed as I could without having a true jig table, because I don't have enough money or space for a jig table. So this actually works pretty good. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut 2 of these out and maybe make a little style in them if I can fit it, but we'll see, and we'll get them cut out. So we'll see that. So I got our miscellaneous stuff drawn up. Those are just axle strap tie down, spots. I'm just gonna try and cut them out, see if they work. got one of our straps tack welded in. Got to grind these out and then start welding it all up and get it in place. So let's do this.